focus because you want to be focused on one thing, right? At the time. You might do five things, that's fine, but finish one, go for a second. But the focus is very important. So, and it was my learning lesson. So, and work, 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 work.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and the wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So, Igor, the question everybody's waiting the answer. What are the 5 steps to make your first million?
Oh, Harry, thank you for connecting me and pleasure to see everybody, right? The step number one, I think it's a mindset. That's huge. And I'll tell you a little bit more so because I was coming from the Soviet Union country. It's Russia, right? I was born still in USSR. So it took me about 5 years to rebrain and rewire myself, right? Because that's a huge piece. The second one was always the people around you. Who are you talking to? Who are you meeting with? What are they talking about? Do you want to, and I don't want to go deeper into this, but anyways, the people around you is very, very important, right? And then education, huge, huge. Some people saying it's not, we don't need it. So people, I drop out of college. You didn't drop out of college because you were stupid, because you were smart, right? And then at a certain point of your life, you probably get pretty good education. Maybe it was parents, again, people around you, or somebody influenced you. So having the mentor, number 4, it's the education one, having the person who've done it, and he just grabs your hands and say, let's go with me now. Oh, you're going to probably speed up your life by 20x. And then last one is just work. There's no secret.
Absolutely.
There's no secret to that. It's a focus because you want to be focused on one thing, right? At the time. You might do 5 things, that's fine, but finish one, go for a second. But the focus is very important. So, and it was my learning lesson. So, and work, 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 work.
Excellent, Igor. And something very interesting about this broadcast that we're doing, we're projected to interview over 5,000 entrepreneurs. And what happened in this podcast, 1 out of 5 are usually tech entrepreneurs, but also 1 out of 5, also they are property entrepreneurs. So why do you think that property is one of the greatest vehicles for people to become financially free and to make the first million?
Here, it's a great question. So I like the quote. There's one quote I really like. So the real estate game, it's not get rich quick. It's
Absolutely.
a get rich for sure. And I want to repeat it. It's a get rich for sure. Yes, it's slow. Yes, it takes time. But if you own real estate, I don't see you're going to be bankrupt in 20 years. You're going to be different than financial position, right? So sometimes it happens within the years. Sometimes, again, you become more sophisticated and you shrink that time frame. So people can do it in 3 years, 5 years. Excellent. If you want to learn it, buy it, do something, ask people how to rehab, how to bring some more value. I don't know, build another unit. I mean, you name it. There's thousands. Literally thousands of different things you can do on real estate.
Oh, yeah.
But one thing I say, it's not get rich quick. It's a get rich for sure.
Exactly. And I think that talking exactly like you shared, it's like 1,000 different strategies that people can do with property out there to create wealth. And exactly what you say, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to develop the skill, and this skill is a skill, so it takes time. The more you practice, the better you become. It's like driving. Nobody learning to drive overnight. Nobody learning to swim overnight. You have to, and certainly a book can help you, but until you don't practice, you don't do it, you don't make your mistakes, then you're not gonna get there. And exactly like you said, this we have to be careful because everything sounds amazing, but when you make a mistake in property, is big, and sometimes you have to be careful because if it's huge, it's gonna be very difficult from come back. So learning this skill, we can say we cost a lot of money. Yeah, if I tell you all the money that I lost making mistakes in my property business, you will cry. I will depress you. So let's don't do that. But
Yeah.
like you said, it didn't come overnight. You have to make mistakes, and this mistake costs money. And you have the wrong tenant, the wrong project, the wrong assessment, the wrong investment. You buy the wrong property,
Yeah.
and if you don't know, sometimes this can be very hard to come back. However, if you have the right mentor, like you described before, the right coaches, the right people that can guide you, then you can minimize this risk and become a successful property investor. So, Igor, where this passion for property came? Tell us about you. Why you decided to become an entrepreneur? Coming from Russia, yeah, I'm originally from Cuba. And on those countries, yeah, it's totally the opposite. Yeah, nobody wants you to be an entrepreneur. Totally the opposite. Everybody want to, they wanted to work for the government all the time. No.
No, it's a great question. Yeah, thank you, Gary. So I think the one of the biggest challenges because you were grown a certain way and then there were certain people around you, you were talking certain things and then discussing certain things. So it's getting into your brain. And the hardest part for me was to really number one, assess what I'm thinking about, make an assessment, right? There's a couple of books I read and I start to really explore my mind a little bit. One of the easiest one to read, it's like The Power of Now at Eckhart Tolle. So what are you thinking about? And like, where is that coming from? What's your background? What is actually in your subconscious mind rereading? So, and it took me about 5 years to, like I mentioned before, to really erase the hard drive, to throw it out in trash, put the new one, which is blank, all right? But then now you need to think, okay, what are you going to put inside of that brain? What's going to be the new information? And the new information for me was in the United States, entrepreneur is a good person, all right? If you're making money, it's great. You can help more people, right? If you grow an economy, the country will grow, right? The more opportunities people have, if you support them, if you can donate money, if you can just be on a state flow, right, and share with everybody. So it's not evil, right, to be entrepreneur, to be wealthy and stuff like that. And just very simple things. And then again, started to surround myself with the people who think in business.
So you
And
created this, Igor. You decided that you want to become an entrepreneur, and then you start to hang around with people like that. Wow, that's amazing.
yeah, so I
All
started
by
to become,
yourself. So, for example, you said that you read a couple of books and that give you an inspiration. So, where the drive came from? Do you have any friend, anyone that told you, hey, this is from where did you hear that being an entrepreneur is good
yeah,
and that's help to society? Because usually a lot of people said a lot of things about entrepreneurs that we're greedy, we exploit people, we are evil, and things like that. So, where do you hear this a positive description as an entrepreneur that actually decide that you want to be one?
yeah, I think the inspirational and then the biggest change was I joined EOLA group, which is Entrepreneur Organization of Los Angeles. So, and I joined that first as an accelerator, which was if you below $1 million, right, they will work with you and they will talk with you. They will put you in a peer group. They will give you mentors. So how you can break your million. And that was my journey because at the $500,000, like for the 2 years straight, I was like, I'm not something wrong. Like there's something with
Wow.
my mind. Like in 2 years straight, I was like, my numbers doesn't change. So once I joined the group, boom. So, and I don't know what happens, but it just 1.2. So what I'm saying is, so you surround yourself with the people who've done it, or maybe who knows what to do, or who's talking about business, who's talking about improvements, who's talking about the problems you face in every single day. And the second part of it, entrepreneurial journey by itself, it's very lonely, right? And the higher you go
Agree.
on that journey, the lonelier it becomes, right? So you need the people to really discuss like a basic problem. How we're gonna fill out the pay, like we don't have money on account, how we're gonna fill in the payroll tomorrow. And again, this is one of the small challenges, and there's millions of others. But if you talk to somebody who's working at the bank and they employed by a bank, they have no idea. So because they checked out at 5 and they're not thinking about business, and you
Mhm.
24 24/7. You're doing about, you're thinking, you're doing, you're like living with that, you're sleeping with that. And yeah, so the EOLA was a transformational journey for me.
And then, yeah, I remember when I started my first business, I used to go out with my friends, and everybody was talking about everything, the job, this and that. And then I'm talking about my business, my client, and nobody wants to talk to me. Nobody is what I was talking about. So, yeah, I, like you said, become very lonely because some of my friends, I knew friends then, new friends, entrepreneurs, and where can I find those friends? And but I found them, and then you have a lot of topics to talk about with other friends that you have that they are entrepreneurs. And I think that it will be rare now. Very few friends you can cut it with my hands that they are not entrepreneurs from childhood and so on. But at the end of the day, we have to surround ourselves with with entrepreneurs because we do need support. And this is a question, but I'm glad that you touched this, that the journey of the entrepreneur is very lonely, because at the end of the day there is a lot of responsibility. You're responsible for everything, responsible for your employees, responsible for the clients, for the suppliers, for everything. And it's a lot to take on. So how you cope with, especially at the beginning, you see, like even you hitting the million, and you said there is something not right here. So how you decided that you have to work on yourself, that there is something that was not working within you, and you needed help, and that's why you joined this group? Because the biggest problem that we have with entrepreneurs is ego, and they think that they know everything, and they think that they don't need help, and they think that they're business company, and then they are working Monday to Sunday on a stopper, trying to figure out everything by themselves. And sometimes this frustration is an emotional pain that can end up in physical pain. They can get sick. Entrepreneurs out there, they don't talk with the children, they don't talk with their wife, because they haven't surrendered and acknowledged that, hey, I do have to work on myself. I need help, and I'm going to seek help if I want to move forward.
Thank you for your question, Harry. So I think my example was on the personal development side. It's like it was, and I mean, numbers helped as well. So if I stuck within the same number, there's certain things I'm not doing, and I'm doing certain things which is stuck right on the same number. And I think the internal development, meaning, so open your mind to the opportunities, like you don't close it, because again, once it's scary, so you usually shut down. And I start in it again, because you start to explore yourself, you start to understand. The more you shut down, probably the more opportunity was in that direction, because you become defensive, right? And you're like an animal response to security, right? But if you break that pattern and you say, oh, why I'm becoming defensive, why I'm becoming so aggressive when somebody asking me why you're not growing, because you don't know what you don't know what to do. You're stuck, right? You really stuck, and you need help. So, and I start to really analyze my body. So, because body responds first, right? The mind will read the body. So, and I start to see, not to see, but feel the emotion. I was like, oh, I got scared when somebody asked me that question. So that's might be the direction I need to go. And when somebody starts to talk about business and it's $20 million, like 50 million, I was like, and you become scared, oh, it's too much or too big and stuff. That's the direction you need to develop. You need to talk to those people. You need to ask them what they do. You need to look at their company, go check them. I mean, go fly or go drive and explore what they're doing. Look at how office structure, look at how he is commanding his team, look how he's leading, look how his day looks like. So, and then this is exactly what I start to explore. I start to explore how the people are actually, day looks like, what they do, what's the schedule. So, and talk to them, connect to them, right? And
follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.